Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. And today's episode is going to be a quick one in regards to a couple rumors that have been swirling about the Pittsburgh Steelers and players that they've been tied to here in the last 4 to 5 days. One being Dalvin Cook. I don't think that rumor is gaining any traction. I don't really think that one is going to work for the Pittsburgh Steelers, considering they already have Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Najee Harris being a high value draft pick. Jalen Warren proven that he has some worth and really coming in looking like a stud this offseason. I know we've only seen him in shorts, but the man really looks cut up. He really looks like he's fired up for this upcoming season, and I think he's going to prove to be a valuable asset moving forward. And I just don't think that the Dalvin Cook acquisition would work for the Pittsburgh Steelers, considering what it would take to get him. And I don't think the Steelers need to make that move. And I don't think that that's like a necessity right now for them. And I think that would be more of a luxury pick. Don't get me wrong, Dalvin Cook is a beast and he's a home run hitter and he's a game changer. But running backs don't age well, guys, right now in the NFL. And he seems to be on that latter part. So I don't think that one's going to happen. Let's move on to one that I really find to be interesting and one that I think could really happen. And that is the Chase Young trade from the Washington Commanders. I don't think the Steelers would need to give up a whole boatload for him. I think the trade package would look like something like a second or third rounder, and they would probably split hairs on the $10 million cap hit that Chase Young currently will hold for the 2023 season. So I don't think that would really bury the Steelers in terms of being able to sign their draft picks and amongst other things and saving a little bit to be able to have in case of emergency throughout the season, to where the Steelers usually like to hold that, few $1,000,000 in case they need to be able to sign somebody throughout the season. Excuse me. However, I think the Steelers would be able to do this financially for sure. And Omar Khan is a wizard in terms of moving some money around. So I think that could happen in financially. That's one. Two, it would work well. I think that Chase Young needs a change of scenery and play for an organization that he's not required to be the headliner, the showstopper, and really give him some time to be able to develop his game behind some quality professionals and TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and Golden. And now you're bringing in rookie Herbig. So, I mean, I think that this would be a good situation for Chase Young if he were to come here. I think it would really reignite his career. Now, I don't think he would be able to hold on to him for much longer because I think it would cost too much in the following years if you were going to try to sign Alex Highsmith. You already got TJ Watt on the books for heavy money. I just don't think that financially moving forward, you would be able to retain him long term. However, you might be able to get him for a season or two. I'm guessing just one season, though, considering the financial obligation you would have to put forth for someone like Chase Young. But Chase Young was a high value draft pick. Chase Young still is a talented ball player. I know his injury history is a concern. Last year, it was horrible. Things just weren't working out for him. But we don't know what the inner workings of the Commanders organization are. So we don't know how much that injury really played into his decline. We don't know, their inner workings. The system may not work for him. Things like that. I'm not saying that his injury didn't play into it, which it did, of course, obviously, but we don't know how he fits into that system. Is it truly, highlighting his talents and utilizing his skill set? We don't know that, and only he knows that, and the Commanders know that. So what would the Steelers have to give up? And like I said before, it'd be probably a second or third round pick, and a depth player would probably have to be added to that. So you're going to lose a draft pick off the cuff, man, and it's going to be a decently high one, a second or a third. And you're going to end up needing to put in a depth player. Is this where the Steelers offload Kevin Dotson? I think it could be. He's disgruntled. He knows he has no shot of starting in Pittsburgh, considering the talent that they've brought in this offseason and the draft pick that they brought in and Broderick Jones. There's just not enough room for Kevin Dotson, which is probably a good thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers because I feel that they've definitely upgraded and have the chance now to maybe get something back for him in terms of Chase Young. I'm not saying that this is the ideal spot for Kevin Dotson personally, but maybe this would be the ideal spot for the Steelers in terms of financial obligations, in terms of rosters, and those types of things. It would benefit them business wise. So I think that this could really work, guys. And I know that all rumors have to start somewhere, and they're just not made out of thin air. There's been some sort of leak from somebody inside the Steelers organization to say, hey, we are interested in this guy. That's the only reason it's been gaining this much traction. And I think it's really probably, I'm going to say a 50-50 chance right now. It's definitely on the board and it definitely could happen. And the Pittsburgh Steelers could really be reeling out there a constant, nasty pass rush. When you're coupling a talent like Chase Young, if he's fully healthy, and you're putting him with the rookie Herbig, or you're hooking him with veterans like Golden and Watt and Highsmith, you're really having a steady flow of constant, fresh, elite pass rushers out there. And I think Herbig is the wild card. I think he could be really good or really bad. We're just going to see, does his arm length, is that going to be a problem? We're going to see a lot here, and they're going to give him his chance because he has a high motor and he's really been impressing people with OTAs. So this kid's probably going to get a solid look and a solid chance and some definite snaps to see what he can do here in 2023, especially in games to where the Steelers are in a comfortable lead and they're trying to preserve Watt and Highsmith. They'll probably let Herbig eat and Golden eat. And you have other players that are really making a step this season across that defensive line, like a DeMarvin Leal. Cam Hayward looks like a young stud. A healthy Larry Ogunjobi. So the pass rush for the Steelers could be super lethal, guys. I'm not saying that makes them a Super Bowl contender by any means, but they should have one of the best defenses in 2023, especially in the AFC, if not all of the NFL. The Steelers have really ramped up in their philosophy of defense, paying that defense, and taking advantage of this quarterback deal that they have right now with Kenny Pickett being on a rookie deal. They're paying and restructured cheaply for Mitchell Trubisky. They're not paying a boatload for Mason Rudolph. So they feel stacked that they have a steady hand at that quarterback position, which is what you need when you have a quality defense is what they'll have. So, and also they gave Kenny Pickett some real weapons. Kenny Pickett is going to have some weapons now with George Pickens and Allen Robinson and Deontay Johnson and Calvin Austin. Hopefully he emerges. And now you have all these guys that are another year in the system to where they're more comfortable, to where these weapons now will be utilized a little bit more. And this should become more of a Kenny Pickett type offense and be geared more toward him being able to run things the way he wants to, a little bit more hot route calling, a little bit more audibly, to where this could really prove to be a big deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I want to thank you guys for coming by. Subscribe to the channel. Keep watching us. Until next time, keep watching Mic Drop Sports.